Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to Jahid Kindomingo TV. We are live in the Greater Accra region covering the December 7th election. We are currently located at the Olebu Cemetery polling station. It is a polling station in the Trobo constituency in the Greater Accra region. Trobo is one of the parliamentary seats that is occupied by the incumbent parliamentary candidate in the name of Moses Anim. This is the third time Moses Anim is seeking re-election. He became the parliamentary candidate in 2012. He was retained in 2016 and is coming again on the ticket of the ruling MPP. The Trouble constituency is a very big constituency which spans, has a lot of notable communities such as Ufanko, Pokwase, ACP, and the rest. As you can see, voting is underway. In fact, voting began at 7. When I came, a lot of people have been able to cast their ballots. And it's been smooth so far. So far, there hasn't been any issue in terms of anything that would mar the peaceful nature of the election. Election is going on smoothly, except that when I came, I had a conversation with one of the ECU technicians who is responsible to making sure the devices are working and everything is running smoothly. According to him, some of the machines were swapped. So, for instance, a machine that was supposed to go to police station A was given to another polling station, and some of the machines, the operators are not able, or the polling agents are not able to operate the machine properly for a simple reason that some of them had to, they were trained 2 weeks ago, so probably they should have had a refresher before continuing, but for the lack of that, some of them are experiencing issues. And so he is going around to make sure everything is working according to plan. Yeah, so far voting is going on. There hasn't been any issue, at least at this polling station. And as you can see, the number is quite. It's not long. I think it's because of the reforms that the EC has put in place. So, for instance, this polling station has a lot of people, but because of delays, the EC has divided the polling station into 4. So we have 4 different polling stations here. All of them. So the polling stations have been divided into 4. So so you have shorter queues at each polling station to reduce the number of people voting. So that has accounted for the fact that the queues are not long. If it were to be the previous situation, it would have been a longer queue. So I believe in the next 2 or 3 hours, the number should reduce and everybody who is interested in voting can come and cast their vote. Yeah. Yes, the EC has made a lot of reforms to this election, but the notable one that I can speak to are the fact that um, the EC has added one layer to the coalition process, and it is aimed at reducing the delays in declaring results. So the EC is actually targeting to announce the results 24 hours after close of polls, which, when it's done, it is unprecedented. It hasn't been done before. But quite ironically, the EC has actually added one layer to the coalition process, as I mentioned. So previously was coalition results. So the process runs like this. So the polling stations announces their results. The results are sent to the the results are sent to the beg your pardon. The results are sent to the coalition center, and we have 275 coalition centers in Ghana. Um, that's each constituency, and then from there, the results are transferred straight to the EC strong room national at the national level, and the EC collates the results. But for some reasons, this results is the EC is unable to uh, declare within 24 hours. But this time, the reform is that the EC has added the regional level to the coalition declaration of results. So it runs like this. From the coalition centers, it goes to the, from the polling stations, results are sent to the coalition center. The coalition center do their work. Uh, they collaborate with the party agents, and then it is sent to the regional level. So at the regional level, they send to the EC, and then from there the EC declares. So if you'll observe, the EC, if you can observe, the EC has added a layer to the process. But then the EC is confident of actually declaring results earlier than the norm, even though there is one layer which is um, technically adding one complexity to the process. So we live to see how things pan out. But the EC yesterday in its last uh, presser was quite relaxed and confident in what they are saying, and so we're hoping that if things go according to what the EC is saying. So we are here bringing you live commentary and observations from one of the polling stations in Greater Accra, and we'll try our best to give you accurate information. In fact, we'll try our best to announce the results as soon as the EC declares. So stay glued with us. We're going to make sure we cover everything that is going on. So as you can see, people are casting their ballots. I'll try and see if I can get hold of one of the voters who had finished the process to find out how they see the process. How would they say it is? Is it as smooth as they want? What was they anticipating? Have they Did they expect something like this? Is it complex? We want to find out the views of the um, electoral, voters. And so, as we can see, the police are here to make sure security is provided and no issues. They just, so far there hasn't been, everybody is comporting each or herself. I'll be trying to give you these observations from different parts of the constituency to have a better picture of what's happening. But so far at the Olebu Cemetery polling station, voting is underway and there hasn't been any issue that raises eyebrows. Everyone is comporting him or herself, and um, I think that if it continues this way and replicated across the country, the EC's objective to run a peaceful election would be achieved. As you can see, most of the queues are almost done. I mean, each queue is less than 50 people. I mean, less than 20. I don't know whether this is a good sign or a bad one, whether there is voter apathy or people want to relax and come and vote at their due, I mean, at their own time and pace. Previously, people, because of the long queues, people come at dawn, even though the voting starts um, at 7, they come to join to form queues to just uh, ensure that they are able to cast their ballots in time. But this time, I don't know whether it's voter apathy or the scenario that I've just narrated. We live to see. At the end of the day, at the end of 5 o'clock, we'll be able to determine whether a lot of people turned out to cast their ballots or there is voter apathy. We have our correspondents stationed at different polling stations. They will be bringing you this live coverage as well. I'll be trying to get hold of one of the voters to find out their view. As you can see, a voter has finished voting, and Nana, which maybe sound some kaka. Yeah, yeah, Facebook Live. Wa vote mpɛ membi sa na gye nkyerɛ process ne ho the way I see ho. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay, so I was trying to get the views of a voter. Unfortunately, he's not in he's not in the position to speak, or he doesn't want to grant this interview, which is okay. And so we'll try our best to give you views of people who have been able to cast their vote to see whether they have confidence in the system or they have doubts about the process, whether it is smooth compared to previous elections, if they have experienced previous voting in the previous elections. So we'll be trying our best to uh, uh, get hold of one of them. But in the meantime, let me share some facts about Ghana elections. So this is the 8th time Ghana is going to the polls to elect their president or leaders uh, to govern the country. It started in 1992. We had a second election in 1996. We had a third one in 2000, in the year 2000. The next one we had it in 2004, and then 2008. The next followed 2008. We had 2012, 2016, and this is the eighth one. If you'll observe, it is a 4-year ritual. that every 7th December, Ghanaians go to the polls to cast their ballots. So let me try and see if I can get hold of this voter who just finished voting to see if I can get her views, her observation. Uh, Pacho, good morning. Me Facebook Live. Me person sisi a me ho say what to aba. Me person me bisa senior wo hu about one. It's a process no. If you are okay with that. No, me no be can true. That's all.
Oh, I know, but okay.
Okay, say what vote to that?
I know to
What
that.
vote to that? We share then in society ben na wo hu we ni
First one,
previous one
back in the two. Oh, it's a sign of blue. It's a sign of blue.
Pacho
Because
kasa.
first, Obana Motrabana, I said, Tapani, then maybe I find.
Na Q no so.
Oh,
We share Q no ewa ana
and why?
okay enwa.
And why you
Time ben
okay?
na oba.
Oh, maybe I 7. I say 7:44.
Oh, okay.
7:44.
And sisi a wa to aba.
Matra baby. So maybe I okay.
Okay. Man who say COVID-19 so this so omo
Maybe be so maybe I share so.
me that
So
super.
maybe that's
Into we say we improvement.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
All right. My member say we
maybe Grace. I'm very
Grace.
Grace.
Grace. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes, so as we've just heard from Grace, one of the voters who cast her ballot, she's actually is full of praise for the EC for conducting this election. She says there has been improvement in time she spent. She actually spent less time than expected. She came at 7 and it's almost let me see 8:43 and she's already done. Less than an hour she's casted her vote, which is an improvement. In fact, in previous elections, people come to sleep at the polling stations. And as you can see, the line is moving so fast. Everyone should be able to cast their ballots if things remain like this. I've heard that at some polling stations, there are issues. Some of the polling agents are having issues with their verification devices, but I hope everything goes smoothly so that no citizen is disenfranchised. That's our prayer. So, like I said, we've come a long way. This is the 8th time we've had 5 presidents who have controlled the helm of affairs since Ghana became a democratic in 1992. So, a quick um, update on that. In 1992, our late former president, uh, as you can see, the COVID-19 protocols are being observed. Everyone is literally on nose mask. About everybody that I can see, except those who are not really in the queue or are participate. Oh, unfortunately, the ballot box and the voting card had fallen. The military and the election executive is helping to bring it up. I think there's no issue to report. It's just the I think they have to support it with some. Uh, okay, so Patrick Felsen, come now dance. Me who say we to what to Abano. Now when you first time. the second time. Who do we compare Bakuna? Near in fast.
Okay, way fast.
Way
The BBA soon way fast.
fast.
Maybe
Oh.
how much is it? Money to buy on Granny Q. Na abuse.
Now who vote to know now who na issues and how to make the
Now,
problem
Obi
yeah
and me, my uncle challenges here.
challenges to be other than that's it. Alright. Yeah, so one of the voters um, has also given praise to the process. At least so far, the voting procedure has been smooth, has been peaceful. There are no long queues, and I think that I can also observe and see what's happening. I think the EC, with this regard, has done a yeoman's job. We hope that the systems putting in place to ensure that we achieve a transparent election is also implemented. So far, the process has been smooth and peaceful. Because of that, I'm seeing a lot of people coming to join the queue because those who vote, I'm hearing calling their colleagues who didn't want to come, who didn't want to join because they thought that they will be joining long queues and not interested. Have been able to vote and now calling on their colleagues to come or family, friends to come join and vote because they wouldn't spend too much time during the process. So, like I said, this is the eighth general election Ghana is experiencing. But this particular election is peculiar compared to the other eight. In fact, this is the first election that has people or the main contenders who have tasted the presidency. So you have the president who is incumbent, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who is running to be retained. And then you have John Dramani Mahama of the NDC, who is the former leader. In fact, he lost the seat to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the previous election, 2016. And so it is quite interesting to have this election. This is the first time we're experiencing. In fact, previously what had happened was uh, incumbents or incumbent presidents who go against people who have not tested the presidency. So in the year 2000, you had uh, Duboahine, who was the presidential candidate for the MPP, who has never been a president. He went against Jerry John Rawlings, who was the president before we became a democratic country. And then you have in the year 2004, similar thing happened. You had 2008. So 2008 had actually a vice president in the name of president, late former president Jerry Atamils, Evans Atamils, going up against um, John Ajikum Kufuor is also former president. No, going against yes, former President John Ajikum Kufuor. But then Kufuor hadn't been president, so he won that election and became the first president from the um, New Patriotic Party's point of view to be, I mean, when Ghana became a democratic. And then in 2004, you had an incumbent president going against Hello? You had a incumbent president going against a former vice president. And then in 2008, you had a former vice president going against uh, Akufo-Addo, who was then not a president. So this particular election is a peculiar one. You have two presidents, an incumbent president and a former president, going against each other to find out who becomes the president uh, in Ghana in 2021. So a number of issues informing voter decision, I guess. I mean, obviously, the issue of corruption has come out strongly, where the main parties have accused each other of being more corrupt. You have people from the main political parties claiming that they have managed the economy better, touting achievements and failures of the opponents. Well, Ghanaians are discerning, and at the end of the day, after the election, and as the EC has promised, after 24 hours, we would know who emerged the victor. In the meantime, voting is underway. There's less queue compared to previous years, at least at this polling station. COVID-19 protocols are being observed. So far, I haven't seen anyone casting their ballots with no nose mask. And temperature gun is being used. There's a COVID ambassador who is actually taking the temperatures of the people, except that the COVID ambassador himself is not wearing a nose mask. He's only wearing face shield, which has not been really certified to be, that prevents the disease from spreading. So I don't know what instructions the officials have given. But so far, so good. It's quiet. Place quiet. It's peaceful. Everyone is. I mean, no issue so far at this polling station. I'll be going to different polling stations to compare the atmosphere. At least everyone is comporting each of uh, him and herself at this moment. And reports I'm hearing from different polling stations indicate same. So far, the EC's objective of uh, ensuring a peaceful election is right on its way. We hope that at the end of the day, it is peaceful, it is fair, it is transparent, and an improvement in our previous election. So I was talking about the peculiarities of this election. One of them is the number of candidates on the ballot. This is the first time that we have so many people on the ballot. We have we have 12 candidates on the ballot. Previously, we've had lesser numbers. So let's see how that affects the overall voting. I'll be trying to get hold of one of the voters to find out their views on voting. So we are live at the Olebu Cemetery polling station. It is one of the polling stations in the Trobo constituency in the Greater Accra region. So far, the election has been peaceful. We haven't recorded any issue. Voters who have casted their votes, that I've spoken to, I've expressed, are impressed about the proceedings so far. Um, they they are full of praise to the EC as we speak, and so we hope it continues this way and replicated across all the over 38,000 polling stations in Ghana. Okay, at this moment, we'll be pausing to go to a different polling station to find out, observe what's happening, and give viewers updates on what's happening so far as the election 2020 is concerned. Stay tuned.